What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Jay coming at you with another Diablo 4 Season 10 Druid build guide. Today we're going to be talking about what is probably my favorite, most chill way to just turn my brain off and farm, and that's the Cataclysm Druid. So you just roar and you turn on Cataclysm, and then you just run around. Also we can teleport because of the runes, but we'll talk about that in a second. I just want to show you guys the gameplay, kind of show you how fast it clears everything. This is a 70. The only problem with this build is it takes a little bit of effort to get started because you have to get your cooldown sorted for your Cataclysm and your duration. Any mix of that, we'll talk about that when we get to the gear section though, and I'll kind of give you a rundown of how to do it. It's not too hard, but it's going to take you a little bit of effort. So stick around while I finish this 70, and I will show you guys just how intense and how insane this can be. As you can see, the only thing I'm doing is holding down the Cataclysm button, and when my roars are off cooldown, I'm popping them because they give you increased damage. This is also a build that you can use the numlock trick on. You can just numlock all your buttons, turn your brain off. You can stand in the middle of a Helltide and not really do anything and still farm all the mats in the world. It's really good for doing Helltides, Nightmares, the Pit. It's basically good for everything. You're only ever going to be limited by your movement speed with this build. As you can see, I made a wrong turn in Albuquerque, but we're a minute and 30 in, and the only reason this isn't done already is because I went the wrong way. Otherwise, just use your teleport every time it's off cooldown. Keep your Cataclysm up and just laugh when everything just falls down. This isn't the best pit pushing build, but it is pretty much always going to be one of the most chill, easiest farming builds you've ever played in your life, right? So there's the gameplay. Let me pop some levels on this glyph that I'm baby leveling real quick, and let's talk about the build. Alright, so first, talk about the gear. Biggest thing, and the Shroud of False Death and Air Perdition are not required. You just got to get your cooldown going on your Cataclysm. Biggest help is this right here. Arid is an Oxable Will. This rolls with ultimate cooldown reduction. If you can get that G8 and crit on it, you're pretty much set. Mulnic Ring. Endless Tempest, that's your passive that's giving you increased duration. That's also another way to get them close together. You can roll cooldown on your necklace. I haven't messed with my necklace much either. You can put cooldown reduction on it for your Cataclysm. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Using it for move speed. I'm not really trying to min-max my damage, but if you've got one that's got some good passes on it, you're good to go there. On this one, you're going to be putting Epigeic Fury. That word is hard to say. Your ultimate skill increases your damage and resets the cooldown of your ultimate skill. On your weapon, you want to use a two-handed mace because the two-handed mace is going to be giving you multipliers to your overpower damage. You want life, overpower damage. Ideally, your third one would be critical hit damage, something along those lines. You're going to roll critical hit damage and chance for Cataclysm to deal double damage. Obviously, I need to fix this stuff, but I'm a little short on maps, which is why I put this together. You're going to use Changeling's Debt because you're going to put increased damage while hitting a poison enemy with Werebear. Or a crowd control enemy with Werewolf. You're always going to be stunned and stuff with this build, so it's going to be going crazy. We're using Igni Jaw, so after your cast, every couple of seconds, you're storing some offering, and then when you cast a non-basic skill, so you're going to be spamming your Howl, you're going to use it, and it's going to reset and give you some teleport for your evade, which is going to let you zoom around. Malefic Crescent, this is not required, but it's going to give you some more critical strike damage and some willpower. So it's going to give you increased critical strike damage for your Keystone passive, which is incredible. Helps you out a whole lot with your DPS. Tempest Roar, this is pretty much required. Storm skills are werewolf skills, so it makes Malefic Crescent work. Using Neo Lum. So this is just giving you resource, which I don't know why I have Neo Lum in there. I don't need Neo Lum. That's a mistake. It should be Neo. You could use Yam. You could use pretty much anything that would help you out, right? You could Earthen Bulwark, keep you going. You don't really need um, Vortex. You could use Cax. Cax would be good. Just get your DPS up and stuff. So let's just go ahead and throw that in there. Why not? You want to, as long as you have that, you're good to go. Runeworker's Conduit. This is going to make your critical strikes with storm skills make lightning bolts come down. It's just a little extra spread AoE DPS, which is really good. Roll critical strike damage here, overpower damage, lucky hit chance. And then if you don't have Shroud of False Death or Air of Perdition, Godslayer's Crown is really good. You can use Harlequin Crest, so throw your Shaco on to help get your cooldown down a little bit more. You can use Mad Wolf's Glee because it's going to give you more levels to your Cataclysm because your Cataclysm will then be a werewolf skill. Pretty much anything that will help you out. You can just put anything that's a multiplier. You could put Fist of Fate on there. You can pretty much do anything that you have and it'll work out just fine. So that's pretty much the build here. You want some movement speed, you know, so you can be zooming around. Let's go ahead and talk about the spirit boons. So maximum spirit, 10 spirit a second. You can move these around. You can get movement speed here. You don't really need the prickle skin. That's kind of you're really not going to need the damage from elites because you're going to be super tanky with this build. Here, maximum life and critical strike damage. Those are both incredible. You don't really need the critical strike chance because you've got all the other things going on. Duration of ultimate skills by 35%. This is going to help you keep it up all the time. And then overload. So dealing poison damage has a chance to summon a lightning bolt. We're going to be poisoning stuff, and I'll show you how when we go through the other stuff. So we're going to go ahead and hop into the skill tree here. So Maul, we don't ever use Maul, but we have it there. So if you want to have a good mobility skill, you can throw some points into Shred and use Primal Shred so you can dash. And then Digidegrade Gate gets you some movement speed. We just want all the movement speed we can get. If you don't go Shred, throw some points into Pulverize because Primal Pulverize gives them reduced damage, but you want Raging Pulverize. So it's going to make your enemies take a multiplier more damage whenever you hit them. Then you're going to move down. You're going to grab Earthen Bulwark. This is just to help you stay able to move if you get CC'd or something. Really useful skill. You're going to put 3 points into Backlash. You'll increase damage after casting a defensive skill because you're going to be using your roars and stuff. You're going to put 2 points into Ancestral Fortitude. Non-physical resistances help you out a little bit. Vigilance, 20 damage reduction after using a defensive skill. And since we're using our roar, it counts as a defensive skill. Works out really well. Blood Howl. This cooldown is going to get reset all the time. It's going to be healing you. It's going to generate spirit, and it's going to give you more damage while you're a werewolf. So that's going to be up all the time. Going to be using Debilitating Roar. Fortifies you. It's going to give you more tankiness. It's going to make it really hard to die, and it's also going to give you increased damage as a multiplier when it is active. Nature's Reach. Going to put 3 points in there. Increase damage to distance enemies, and then increase damage further if they're crowd controlled. So that's amazing. Frail Aptitude, increase damage to healthy enemies and more damage while above 100% movement speed. When you're in werewolf form, you're basically always going to be above movement speed cap. You see all these little ones everywhere. That's because of my Air of Perdition. You just get the extra bonuses for having air. Going to move down here. You're going to put 3 points into Charged Atmosphere. Every 3 seconds, you just have a random lightning bolt that deals extra damage, and it also gives you a multiplier for your lightning bolt damage, which is amazing. Helps out a whole lot. Then you're going to put Electric Shock, so dealing damage has a chance to immobilize them, so it's going to be CCing them, doing extra damage for it. If they're already mobilized, it deals increased damage instead. So, you know, it's always going to be giving you a little bit extra bonus, and it's always going to be helping you out. It's always great. It's amazing. So you can see here we don't have any points in Endless Tempest. If you need more duration, you can put some more points into Endless Tempest to help you out, but I just got 5 levels from my gear. Put 1 point into Mending, where Werebear form, you get increased health, but we don't use it for that. We use it for this. So Provocation is going to make your next skill overpower. When you look into some of the gear, we have some overpower damage, right? So that's helping out and doing a little more. It's awesome, right? Making us do more damage. We like overpowered stuff around here. Again, we got 3 points over here just because air perdition, so we don't really care too much about that. Or not air perdition, but the chest. Shroud. Neurotoxin, poison enemies are slowed. We don't really care too much about that. And Venom, you gain increased poison critical strike or more critical strike damage against poison enemies, so that's amazing. So those are great. You want those. We put 3 points in Defiance, more damage from nature skills, amazing. We put more 3 points into Natural Disaster. Earth skills deal more damage for vulnerable enemies. We don't really use Earth skills, but your Storm skills deal increased damage to immobilized enemies, knockdown enemies, and stunned enemies. So, all the time. Then Resonance Nature Magic skills still increase damage. Triple the bonus if an Earth skill is the next cast, Storm skill. So if you're alternating, it's going to increase your DPS output, which is always a good call. You're going to put points into Cataclysm. So this is what's doing all your damage. It's just doing damage all around you all the time, and it's slowing enemies whenever you cast it. It's amazing. It's also making your enemies vulnerable, so it's doing, all kinds of work for you. It's absolutely incredible. Increased damage after casting your ultimate. You're going to put 3 points in this. Since you're always casting your ultimate every time it's up, there you go. You're always getting that extra damage. Quick Shift gives you increased damage. So every time you use one of your skills, you'll go into that form, right? So Earth and Bulwark's going to put you into human form. Roar is going to put you into whichever animal form of the roar that you use, and it's just going to make it even better. And you're going to have that up all the time because you're never going to have 3 seconds in human form. So you're never going to have to worry about that buff falling off after you get it rolling. Then you're going to put points into heightened senses. You're going to get damage reduction and movement speed, and as long as you're in either animal form. So it's always going to be up all the time, so you're going to be moving faster. It's great. You're going to have less damage taken as well. Again, we just got the extra points here. We're not using them. And then Looping Ferocity. Every third werewolf skill critically strikes, and you deal increased damage with werewolf skills. And our Tempest Roar is making our Storm skills werewolf skills, so this is always going to be working, and it's great. We love it. It's going to be doing all kinds of DPS for us. Paragon. Remember to use your points to fix your gaps in your gear. Don't cookie cutter these because you'll be falling behind trying to figure out what the heck's going on. In your starter board here, you're going to use Earth and Sky. Nature Magic deals increased damage to vulnerable enemies. Absolutely amazing. Your first board is going to be Ancestral Guidance. After spending Spirit, you deal increased damage for 5 seconds. Your ultimate skills increase damage per Spirit when cast, which is awesome. Then we've got the Electrocution Glyph here for every willpower purchase. It deals increased damage for your Lightning Bolts and Dancing Bolts, which is, going crazy all the time. And then enemies damaged by your Lightning Bolts take increased damage. So after you hit them once, you're going to be dealing more damage to them, which is incredible. Second board, you're going to be grabbing Lust for Carnage. Critical Strike for Werewolf skills, restore Spirit, and deal increased damage, which is, basically all the time. We're critting like mad. Dominate. You deal increased overpower damage. We got things that are making us overpower. When you overpower, all damage taken from you is multiplied, even better. Up here, we've got Survival Instincts. Well, in Werebear form, you deal increased damage. Or more when you're at full life, which is basically all the time. You increase overpower damage up to 25% for every 1% difference in life percent fortified enemy. So it's basically all the time, right? Then we've got Keeper here. It's going to be giving you increased non-physical damage, so it's just a multiplier doing multiplier things. We love that. Over here to the last board, and we have Thunderstruck. Storm skills deal damage equal to more of your damage close and damage distance, up to 60%. So it's pretty easy to get this going because you have those points in your skill tree, so pretty easy to get that multiplier. And then you're using Spirit. It's just giving you more critical strike damage. As you can see, just my Spirit is giving me 122.4% increased critical strike damage. And you can increase that by buying more dex nodes within this. And you can see I still got several I can buy. So we'll throw that point in there, and now it goes up to 145.1. So, if you don't need some of this other stuff, so we can take a couple points out of here. We can come down here, find a couple more dex nodes. All right, let's buy this dex node. Let's buy this dex node. Now it's up to 190 all of a sudden. Right, so you just move your points around to get you the best that you can, right? Just making it a little bit easier all the way around. You're doing increased damage, it's going crazy. It is just fun to watch all of it pop off. Your mercenaries. I like Subo just because he shows you where the enemies are and stuff. It's whatever. If you need more defenses, you can use her here. Just use whichever you want, really, because you're not really using this to push. Like I said, it's not really a push build. It's just for farming and being chill. So just kind of use whatever you want here. Over here in your chaos perks, use wild transformation. So you're getting more everything when you're shapeshifting. When Blood Howl gives you more critical strike damage, Werebear gives you more damage reduction, Cyclone Armor gives you points and attack speed, right? So when you go into human form and automatically cast Cyclone Armor, you'll go into human form every time you use your Earthen Bulwark, every time you use not your Cataclysm, because it's werewolf skill now. So you can keep those popping back and forth. Purging Infected. So your core skills also poison the enemies. So you can be hitting things with Shred or Pulverize, whichever one you pick, to get your enemies poisoned and doing everything. And it's just going to be crazy all the time. It's just giving you more damage because it's going to be giving you more of everything, right? So it's going to poison them. It's going to make them take more damage from you. It's going to make it automatically crit. It's just going to go crazy. Then overabundance. So since we're always generating spirit, so it's going to be increasing our damage by 100% for 5 seconds. It stacks up to 3 times, but does not refresh. This is up all of the time for the most part, right? So you're just going absolutely ham. Anyway, that's the build. It's a lot of fun. It takes a few minutes to get off the ground. You can farm it with any of the builds that you really want to use, but for the most part, it's just chill and fun and getting everything you need to get, right? It's a really good way to just turn your brain off and farm stuff. Anyway, that's it for this one, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and drop a comment with what you guys want to see next. And I'll see you guys in the next one.